Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you happen to be listening to the Fresh Bunch podcast. My name is Mike. We have Ryan, Joelle, and the great Mimi Pacheco is working remote from home today. She's on the TV. And our really cool, really interesting, viral, video making, amazing personality. I don't even know how to describe it, but I had to watch your video like 3-4 times because I enjoyed it so much. Jessica Rauls, like Lou, who is the curator of Gather Flower Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'd like to welcome you because I'm excited.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to be here and very grateful to be talking with you guys. So thank you. I appreciate you.
I don't know where you came from, but like I just was struck by you and your passion and animation and your connection to the flowers and how your audience is like right there with you, as if you were just like sitting down at a bar having a beer talking about these amazing fucking flowers that someone just put in front of you. That is just it was so
kind of how it feels.
No, man, it was good. It was really good, and I really enjoyed it. I watched it. I shared it with my friends and my colleagues here.
For those who haven't been following, Mike, give us a little background of where we.
Well, let's start it off. Let's start right now. What is the name of the Instagram?
Gather Flower Studio.
Yeah. Get on your phone right now and connect to Gather Flower Studio.
Immediately follow.
And then after you smile so hard your face hurts, please call us. Please call us and let us know that we were right, because a star is born here. A star is born here. That is for sure.
A star was definitely.
No, man.
Well, I feel.
God.
I think. Speaking from me and a couple other floral fangirls, we need to know, are you an entertainer as far as like ballet or performance arts, or what is your background, Jess?
Okay. The younger years of my life, I was often described as dramatic and emotional. So I think
it's like Cancer. Are you a Cancer? What?
No, I'm a Leo, and I have a lot of Leo placements and
like
Sagittarius. So I think it's just like a natural, I don't know. I think it's always been there. I think from when I was really little, I was very animated and very much loved to play and pretend. And I was raised in a household that fostered the opportunity to be curious and creative, and was also like fostered the opportunity for a lot of love and sharing and giving. It just kind of naturally puts you into a place where you are social, and that way. Through the younger adult portion of my life, I was heavily involved with ballet, for sure. I did ballet for 17 years. Lovely. You have a dancer's body for sure.
Well, funny enough, there's a couple people that we've been talking about, and we're seeing your physique and your personality. We're like, well, for instance, Flower Amy from Esmeralda. I go, for sure, she has to be a ballet. She has to be ballet.
She also is in love with you.
It was ballet for 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a girl crush moment on you. I'm like, she's coming to the podcast.
Oh, that's sweet. Ballet, choir, musical theater, all through high school. And then when I got out of all of that, I kind of just I also did speech and debate, stepped away from a lot of those things, but remained appreciative. And then I worked in corporate communications for about 10 to 12 years and did a little bit of work in marketing with them as well, and fell into flowers in the very most random way. The photographer that I work most closely with will tell you that I am the hardest person to photograph because I never stop moving. And my best friend is also a photographer, and she will like just kind of chase me around set and let me do my little crazy whimsy like fairy thing. And that's just my personality. I'm ever moving, ever hands. I'm very expressive with my face, and I also am a terrible liar. So anything that you ever see on camera, if it doesn't feel authentic, I will either A, call myself out and be like, no, that's not, nope, that's not what we're feeling today. Or B, I will shut the camera off completely and just come back another time because I don't have the capacity to lie. I look like an idiot when I'm lying.
So, well, you hear that? That's another person that can't lie. Joel and I have this discussion all the time because he says I cannot lie, that my face automatically turns off.
Terrible liar.
Terrible
yes.
liar.
And what I've learned to do through the process of that is bite my tongue, because I know that there are certain circles or interactions where the thing that I am really thinking definitely should not be said. And so I've learned to just not say the thing. But for the most part, I surround myself with people who genuinely love and embrace who I am. And that is vice versa. Like I do the same with them. And so it's just my personality, I suppose.
Well, your personality shines on screen, you name it, because these videos that you've been doing are amazing. Yeah. So that we give a background, Jessica made a beautiful video about Powder Puff. And Mike got sent the video. Mike commented and said, "Oh, I helped name that." And she goes, "Excuse me, sir?"
Yes.
And that whole thing turned into something else. And
you just don't think about it from that perspective, right? Like in any rose variety has obviously been named by someone. So you don't anticipate that at some point in time. So that video, I didn't even put makeup on that day, I don't think. Like I was just so used to my Instagram had been so stagnant at a certain number for so long that it was truly like when I post reels or videos or anything like that, it's truly just me enjoying my space and having fun with it. And I was in an exceptionally good mood that day and feeling very fun and curious. And I walked into the cooler and I saw the roses and I was like, this is something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain petal patterns and certain length of rose heads that when my eye sees that combination, it goes worth exploring. It may be a dud, but it's worth exploring. And so then when you get it back to all that to say that I think there's a mental disconnect in some regard as a florist that like, somebody grew it, somebody named it, somebody packaged it. Like there's all these other integral pieces and parts. So to find that connection in that moment was like so sweet to me, but also like way cool. Like this person that's I've never known before, I've never met before. It's like, oh, by the way, I named that rose that you're holding in your hand. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. No, it's true. It was about 2 years ago.
What breeder is that?
That's Connectiflor, or used to be Connectiflor. I think things have changed there now, but it's a small breeder. And also Mr. Dean Rule represents a few different smaller breeders, and under his company, Connectiflor. Me and Juanita love to go and look at new varieties and new codes when we're in the areas of maybe a showroom. They call it a showroom, but it's really a greenhouse. And,
very cool.
And what happens is, so they grow like thousands of different varieties as a test, and there'll be just a couple plants of each. And over time, they will eliminate, because of different characteristics that are positive or negative, they will start eliminating varieties, and then they get to the second stage, and then they get to the final stage of deciding whether they are going to take that variety, which has only a number at that time because it's a code, and they have to decide whether they're going to make that a commercially available variety for growers to buy and grow. We have a small boutique farm where we don't grow much of anything, and that kind of gives us the ability to take more risk than a bigger commercially run farm where they need to do like a series of tests for a year before they think about if they want to grow it or not. But me and Juanita looked at it as like, okay, this is a W. We want this one. But it didn't have a name yet.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't have a name yet. And in the greenhouse, when they're testing, you get to see them on the plant fully developed. So you get to see the whole thing.
I think you guys need a floral companion, a florist that's, on the scene with you at these moments. I'm just saying.
I don't think...
And I would willingly give my time for that.
Listen,
just for you guys.
I got a little news for you. I don't think it's going to be long until you get some invitations for some breeders to come and make some content for them. I don't think
my
it's
God,
going to
it
be
would
long.
so fun.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I happen to be the Ari Gold of the flower business. And if you like, I could represent you.
There you go.
I would love that. Yeah.
But I really don't think it's long. So anyway, we're looking at this beautiful, amazing pink rose that has like this blushy pink tone to it with all this stuff going on. And I remembered when I was a little kid, my mother had like this table and a little mirror with a circle, and it had a bunch of light bulbs around it. And she would always be patting her face with her powder puff.
Story.
And I would play around with the powder puff, and she'd give me my powder puff. You know?
Wait, my mom had one of those.
Yeah, everyone's mom had a powder puff.
Was it my mom or my? It was like in a light green case. It was either my mom or somebody in my home.
No, that's the birth control
direct
pills.
Family.
In the light green case.
Not the birth control. It was it was not.
It was in a pink case. A little.
It was
with a mirror on it.
It was like literally. It smelled like baby powder. Like you opened it up, and it was like this big floofy.
And she would just pat her face with it all the time. It's a powder puff.
My God.
So that's what kind of connected me to that name. And so breeders, they don't just name the roses. They actually have to do a worldwide search and see if it's already trademarked as a rose. And then once they find out that it's not trademarked and the name is available, then they need to trademark it. So it's a very expensive and lengthy process to actually name a rose
Powder
officially.
Puff TM.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang, that's very cool.
So he accepted it.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And we were also the first one to plant it. We weren't the first ones to cut it because our greenhouse fell down on top of them. But it's very available. It's going to be in late 2026. It's going to be like everywhere. Every farm is going to have it. It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I will also tell you that the number of people who have reached out to me in DMs or comments or just in general and have said, like, I have customers calling my flower shop asking for powder puff roses.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Amazing.
cool to me because I think that in some way there can be a disconnect between florist and customer as to understanding what is available and what they can ask for. And in some ways, like kind of creating bridging the gaps in connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you can ask for a white hydrangea, you can ask for a blue hydrangea, you can ask, but did you also know about powder puff roses? Did you know about crystal fairy? And now because it's coming to their clients in a platform, in an environment where they get to experience it. And I think as a florist, if a customer were to walk in my door and go, can you get powder puff roses? I would be like, fuck yeah, I can get you a powder puff rose. Let me get right on that for you.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to include this, and this, because I think the other thing for me as a florist, when I think about like when customers give you that kind of like excitement and creative freedom, it's like a little known, always end up with free flowers in some way, because it's like, well, now you've just kind of like sent me on my own little science experiment. I'm going to go into like mad happy mode and make the thing. And by the way, I added like 50% more flowers too, because I was just having so much fun with it.
Well, we have been talking about powder puff, Mike, since last summer, and you made a couple videos that did really well for us. And then I know that Andy as well, like we were all talking about powder puff, Andy. So Jess, you're also helping in Michigan because apparently Andy this week a couple weeks ago shared your video and is like, see the excitement that's happening.
Do you follow
and now,
Andy, Jess?
Oh,
Do you follow him?
I don't.
Sourced by
Who
you.
is this?
Sourced for you by Commerce Drew. Not only you, anybody listening who doesn't need to follow him too, because it's another one of my
And
flower
he's like,
rock stars.
I've been telling you guys about this. And so funny enough, Andy's putting in the comments and I see it, and I had been following Jess, but because of the Blumenthal wedding before, but I go on my personal page and I go, hold my beer. Have you seen Crystal Fairy?
Well,
Because Crystal Fairy stops me in my tracks all the time.
Yep. So there were a few people that commented Crystal Fairy, like you got to see Crystal Fairy. And then there was another one, and I don't remember what the other one was, but somebody else had mentioned one it was one for me that I have worked with before, and they're all beautiful in their own way, but it wasn't like the same level of impact in my mind as Powder Puff or roses that I haven't seen before. And there was actually, I have an ongoing list of recommendations, like different roses that people want to see, which I think is really fun too, because I'm down. Like, let me experiment. Let me be curious. It's cool.
What's on the list?
I will pull it up and tell you.
Let me tell
I
you.
know there's one called
there's-
Peony Kiss,
Yeah.
Oh, Peony Kiss, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Mandarin Expression, and White Chocolate.
Mandarin Expression.
So white chocolate's been around for a long, long time. It's a cool variety, but we don't carry it very often because it gets a lot of mechanical damage. It's delicate.
Oh,
It's one of those delicate white varieties. Mandarin Expression was really good coming out of the gate, and it was bringing a really high price. But so many farms grow it now that it's kind of devaluated, and the wow is kind of done. And I really,
like watered down the root.
Yeah, we fill a lot of wedding and event orders here, and I really don't see much demand for it. I think it had its moment, honestly. However, you look at a rose like Powder Puff or Crystal Fairy or others that are out there. Yeah. And farms are like in a mad dash to have it first and to have it ready in steady production first. Like Powder Puff right now is around, but I have a feeling that most of those farms are in their first cycle, and they'll be around for a week or two, and then they'll kind of disappear for about 3 months, and then they'll be in steady production after that. And I think that's what you're going to see now. So like, don't get too many calls, because you might be a little bit hard to get for a few months, and then you'll have plenty, more than you could ever handle. And that's my fear.
Right.
With a lot of these great new varieties is the breeders sell too much of it to too many players, and then it goes from a novelty to a commodity. It kind of like the value kind of falls pretty quick.
Yeah. And you notice there's a specific variety that I'm thinking of so what I notice is whenever the rose is like in a really good grow season, the stem is just as reliable and healthy as the rose head. And it's not too thick. It doesn't have a ton of thorns, but it's also not so thin, and it is still able to deeply support the weight of the rose head. Because, like, for example, heart varieties, to me, whenever it's overgrown, that stem gets so thick and has so many thorns that it can almost be a challenge to work with. But the rose head itself is so beautiful. And then I obviously am not as familiar as you guys are, or as the growers are, with the growing process or what that may indicate. But from an outside perspective, it makes you wonder if it's being overgrown because of the fact that people love it so much.
Yeah. But you do a really good job at communicating with your customers. I saw a post you did about carnations, about people saying, I don't want carnations. I think that level of trust with your client and listening to them, educating, that's so important. So, you can talk all about these powder puffs, and I feel like you created a level of trust that when it's time that there is no powder puff, or the powder puff is not, they will be comfortable with your suggestion. I mean, just your face and expression of like, what's next? You know what I mean? It's going to be fun.
Is it normal? Is it normal for customers to ask you for specific varieties of roses? Is that common, or
that can't be common?
Or is it only because of the videos that people are asking you?
So the way that my studio operates, we have a rotating monthly palette. And typically that comes with like a standard order of 1 to 2 rose varieties. And so they become very familiar with the flowers that we keep in the shop because they get to experience them over the course of a month. Right now we have Powder Puff and we have Friends in the studio. And so last month we had Candlelight regularly. And so they really get to experience like one variety and really see it and understand it and become as familiar with it as we do.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm working with it all month long, I really start to know it and appreciate it. And it becomes my go-to in certain instances whenever I'm working on event work, or whenever I have a client that says, I really love lavender. And I'm like, have you seen the Friends Rose? It's amazing. And then I also don't spin them. Whenever they come in the shop, they're like looking at them still very snug as a bug in a rug. on the flower bar. And the way that we kind of do things is there are some things that are pre-made at times, but more often than not, when they come in, they know they get to look at the flower bar that's present and say, I love this item. I love this item. I love this. I don't care for that as much. This is my budget. What can you make? And so we make it in front of them as they're here, and they see me reflexing a carnation. They see me opening up a tulip. They see me spinning a rose, and they go, wait, what did you just do? So then it's not just about the flowers, it's the full experience. And they become immersed in it and just as equally invested in the varieties and color palettes of different flowers we have in the shop. And they look forward to them. And they come back whenever when they know that we have them again.
So
That's
I need
cool.
to know, walk me through how did you get in the industry? Give us like your, background, because we need to know. We know you started in the fine arts.
Yeah. I was working in communications. I was married at the time, and my ex-husband and I had just bought a house. And so I was like, well, why don't I mean, we were doing well financially, but also the home was probably like 100 years old. When we did the walkthrough, there was ivy climbing up the inside of the dining room walls. And was like, oh, this is gonna be a reno. Like, we're gonna have to do some work. And so I had seen advertisements previously for, are you familiar with Alice's Table?
Mm-hmm.
I had seen advertisements for Alice's Table, which, for those who may not be familiar, it is a small company franchise that you can buy into. And at the time, the buy-in fee, I think, was like $1,500. You buy in, they send you the supplies, they do the back-end support for all of your financial aspects. And then you sell tickets that they teach you how to teach flower arranging workshops. And then you sell tickets, you work with your local community to host classes in places like breweries, boutiques, wherever. And then you have a free place to teach a class. The location in which you are teaching the class has foot traffic on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night in the middle of a brewery where they may not have had as many people. So now all of a sudden they've got 20 people in there sipping, dining, and enjoying their space. I started with that, had to re-buy into the franchise after like a month or so because I was selling so many tickets that I didn't have enough supplies.
Oh, wow.
So I bought in a second time, and I think in like November or December, I started with them in September, and they give you enough supplies for 20 people. And I taught a class in either late November or early December for 42 women, a wreath class at a brewery. And by the end of the class, they were having such a good time. They were like wearing the wreaths on their heads like sombreros and like lion's manes. Like they were just, it was so fun.
Was it just
But
you or something
was,
specific that you were able to get such a big draw in so early? Was there?
I have my theory.
It's her.
My theory is that
Definitely.
whenever the universe wants something for you, when you approach it and it is meant to be part of your path, there will be no obstacle.
Right.
And it's not a matter of receiving the gift or the opportunity. The gift and the opportunity is given to you. You have to work to honor the gift that you have been inherently born with, as well as presented with later in life. And so I really believe that this was something that floristry in general has never felt like something that I was just like, this is desperately what I want to do with my life. It feels like this is what you are meant to be doing because you are meant to give. And the more you give, the more you will be given to give. To me, it was the path, it was the purpose. And I sort of fell into that space and the floodgates just opened. And so the classes went really well. And then I started getting curiosities about other things. Do you do retail floristry? Do you do wedding and event services? There was this running joke that I had in the first year that if it was free, it was for me. And it was, how can I give to my community? I started doing charity galas at cost. So it gave me the opportunity to practice while simultaneously allowing me to be of service to others and give to others and reduce the cost of florals for charity galas and for events in my area that we're trying to serve as fundraisers. Don't pay for all of the cost of the flowers. Just pay for what it costs for me to do them. And let's send the rest of those funds back to the charity. So I would do those as much free education as I could find on the internet.
Yep.
I had done a class for a brewery and they were opening an Airbnb next door. It was this tiny little town not far from where I lived. The owners, it was a couple, Andy and Amanda. They own Sandy Springs Brewery in like Minerva, Ohio. And I did flowers for the grand opening with the local community, like the Chamber of Commerce, for their grand opening of the Airbnb. She was like, well, they really wanted me to start my own flower business. And I'm like, guys, I was still working at my full time as well. I'm like, I don't know if that's like the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was scared to kind of take the leap. She was like, well, everybody who is contributing to the opening is also including business cards. So either bring Alice's Table business cards or, there's the opportunity for you to bring your own. And so I called Alice's Table and I was like, hey guys, this is an opportunity that's come up. I'm very curious about it. I'd like to do it. Can I put out Alice's Table business cards? And they, bless their sweethearts, were so loving and so supportive. And they were like, this is what it's supposed to do. This is why we encourage people to sign up and join our franchise, because we want these opportunities for you. We want this to grow into a full-time thing.
They were on Shark Tank, right? They were on Shark Tank.
Yes.
Yes,
and they are such a loving and supportive group of people that I really, really enjoyed my experience with them. Mm. They said, while we love what this is doing for you, also, you're not necessarily advertising the workshops. We feel like it's more appropriate for you to have sort of like a separate thing for this. So the event was like the next week. I created a logo, a business name, a website, an email address, and a social media page, like an Instagram and Facebook page, in like 48 hours so that I could order the business cards.
Was that
everything
Gather,
was black and white?
Was that a different name?
Yep.
that was then?
Nope, it was Gather. Everything was black and white. It just had like a simple letter G. Like it was just like very like as easy as we could make it. I just wanted to have a place to direct people so they felt a sense of trust and legitimacy as this was growing. And so we put the business cards out and I got my first inquiry from a wedding from that event.
Wow.
That was in the early parts of 2019. So I started with AT in the fall of 2018. In the earlier months of 2019, that happened. In the spring of 2019, the company I'd been working for went through an audit, and partially through that audit, my position was eliminated effective immediately and redlined on a page. My ex-husband and my mom both worked for the company at the time as well. I went home. I called my ex because I didn't want to create a fuss at the office. And I was like, well, what do I do? Like, what do I do next? And he was like, you go fucking start your business. Like, go do the thing you're meant to do. And so I remember I was sitting, what was at the time essentially like my studio space, sobbing because I didn't know what any of this was going to lead to or how it was going to unfold. And I was on the phone with Verizon Wireless, changing my cell phone from the company's name into my name while also building my workshop table. And I'm literally looking at the same workshop table now in the studio space.
Man, and that was right.
And it grew from there.
Right before 2020 too. So you started it.
Right. I have restarted twice.
Oh, man. Yeah.
When I had talked to my ex about it, he was like, hey, we have this much in savings. It'll get us to this point. If you have to take a job at that point, you do. But for now, go for it. Just run with it and see what happens. And so right around the same time that COVID was going on, and he and I had discussed like me potentially taking on a new job because of the way that everything unfolded. It wasn't able to grow in the way that we thought it was as quickly. We were considering me taking a new job. He got a job offer. And that job offer was in Charlotte, North Carolina. We had an option to come to a couple of different places. Our options were Manassas, Virginia, Port Everglades, Florida, and Charlotte, North Carolina. And we ended up in Charlotte, and we moved here, and I restarted Gather. We moved in July of 2020.
Where did you move from? Did we establish that?
Ohio.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I'm originally from Canton, Ohio, so about 45 minutes from Cleveland.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that near Sandusky?
Yes.
I'm a Tommy Boy fan.
It's...
That's why I want to know.
Yes, I love Tommy Boy. So
I didn't know that was a real place.
You are in the general vicinity.
No, it's a real place.
Yeah, no, it really is. I don't know if anything else about that is real, but the Sandusky in general is real, and it is in like the top half of the state.
You mean
like,
Callahan Auto Parts is not a real company? Come on.
Dunder Mifflin's a real paper
it
company, so
I'm
it
sure
could be
now.
Yeah,
I bet the Googler could tell us.
It's a real paper company. You
What?
can buy Dunder Mifflin paper.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you restarted in North Carolina. What year was that?
Yeah. It was, so I had gone through some personal things that were just like, I mean, I don't mind sharing. I had a marriage in 2020 and it left me in a state that was like deeply depressed. No, it's okay. I'm very much in a space of like love and peace and acceptance around the whole experience. And I think when traumatic things happen like that, they are catalysts for change as well as they create a humility and relatability to other people. You can meet them in their space whenever they hit those moments of raw.
Yeah.
And it offers you the capacity to hold space for other people experiencing it post healing. Like there's community in the moment as it's happening, but I also think that when you have raw experiences that deeply, like viscerally change you, you can meet people in those spaces and understand not just with empathy, but deep compassion for them. So I'm grateful for it in a lot of different ways.
Wow.
Yeah. But at the time, it left me like severely depressed and I wouldn't get off the couch. And I remember in January of 2021, my ex had asked me like, he was like, where are you? Like, what's here? What's going on in the headspace? And I said, I just don't know where to start again. I don't know how to pick it up. And he said, I don't know either, but you have to do something. It's not going to come to you in a lightning bolt on the couch. And that just like the way that it hit me, I think that you hear things when you're ready to hear them. And it like cut in such a way that was so positive that I was like, I got to get the hell up off this couch. I don't care if it's a pottery. He was like, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to take a job like this. Take it made up for my salary. He was like, you don't have to work. Do whatever you want, but do something. And so I made a promise to myself that if it scared me, I was going to do it. And I was at a brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina with friends. And it was such a communal space. I was on their patio and witnessed on a Sunday afternoon, like 20 somethings hanging together, as well as in the next table over was a family with children and their parents. Like it was like 3 generations in one space adjacent to frat boys. And this would be a great space to sell flowers. Everybody's here. There's community. There's all walks of life. I want to be immersed in this with them. I remember I was like making my bed and I thought about it for a second and I'm like, this brewery is way too big. There's no way they would talk to me. I'm like, well, now you got to email them. If you're afraid of it, you got to go for it. So I sent a cold email to info at the name of the brewery. And the manager, the GM, messaged me back via email within like half an hour. And he said, you have my attention. When can you meet? And I did a mobile flower bar there for like 6 months every single weekend. And I was selling flowers in the heat of the Carolinas outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I was barely breaking even because the flowers were fading just as quickly as I was selling. And so the heat was it was so intense. And I was trying to sell as many locally grown flowers as I could at that time, trying to raise awareness around it. And there were some days that it was just like barely making what it costs to cover the cost of the flowers.
Right.
I handed out so many business cards, so many. When I finally stopped doing it, I was like, I just can't do it anymore. It's breaking me. And so I reached out to the company and I was like, hey, like, I'm so grateful for the partnership. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I think I got to move on to the next thing. and lovingly we part ways. Then my ex and I separated, and I started freelancing for another florist as well as working at a cafe. And I hit this space where I was like, something makes me want to do this more for myself. And so I started growing my own business a little bit. Brick by brick, it just started evolving and growing more and more. And a lot of the people that I had met through that mobile flower bar started returning into my space. And yeah, daffodil from you when I was hammered for like $1. I'm getting married now. Will you want to do my flowers? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Let's get after it. And so that's kind of where it grew. And then I had worked with a real estate agent to find my condo whenever I moved out of my house. And she was like, you want a commercial space? And I'm like, girl, I'm 35 years old and just paying rent for the first time on my own ever. Not a good time. But also I'm open to the opportunity. So if you find something cool, send it my way and let's talk about it. She would send me spaces on occasion that were available for rent and very much honored all of the things that I hoped for myself in a retail space. And I would always say the same thing. I'm open to receiving more information. And usually I would get a text back that it's like $3,000 a month to rent.
Right.
I got a text from her. I was sitting in a coffee shop and she was like, hey, are you curious about this space? Sent me a space. And I'm like, open to receiving more information. And she sent me a screenshot of the text conversation between her and the leasing agent. Hey, I think so-and-so might want a lot for that space, but I'm looking for a florist for the space that I am now, which is called the Alley at the Lotta Arcade. If your friend is interested, I could get her in for little to no rent. And I was like,
is that because they wanted to have like the aesthetics of a florist there? Ah, nice.
And I said, what is little to no rent in the city of Charlotte? And she goes, girl, I don't know, but I think this is worth looking into. I'm like, okay. So I meet this guy and my real estate agent a couple days later in the building. And we look at a space downstairs that was like an old cell phone repair shop. No natural light, really. It was kind of like, I just couldn't see the vision. And I was so scared I was going to fail if I did this, that I didn't want to have to do a build out. I didn't want to have to tear down, like rip into walls or do like significant like work in that way. And so I was like, I don't know. And he goes, well, I have one more space upstairs. You wouldn't be near the main drag of foot traffic, but I'll show it to you. And we come upstairs and I walk in the door and I was like, this is everything I wanted. And I remember standing in the corner of the space. It was completely white. There was no sink or anything. There was a ceiling fan where the chandelier now is. And I said, what's the deal? He goes, we will work out very accommodating lease agreement for you. They want this and this. And it was pretty comfortable. And I was like, I could do this. He goes, we need you just as much as you need us. And I was like, okay. He goes, just write up like a couple of paragraphs about what you want to do with the space. So my perfectionist ass wrote up 3-page business plan.
Sure, of course.
And sent it to them and they approved it. And that was in January of 2023. We opened May 10th, the week before Mother's Day of 2023. And we did not pay a drop of rent for 2 years.
Wow. That's a really good deal.
It was a very good deal. And it has been a beautiful partnership. What I thought was a disservice to the lack of foot traffic allowed me training wheels. It let me learn how to be a retail florist that also worked in an event space and not be physically in the space certain days when I was spreading myself in 17 different places.
And you think that would have been extremely different if you were on the bottom floor with foot traffic?
I would have drowned. I would not be in business right now if that would have happened. 100%.
And you're currently still in the same
didn't know how to balance. Yeah. We've been here for 3 years. It'll be 3 years in May.
Wow.
Very
yeah.
cool.
And we grow it's been really cool. And so whenever I shared earlier that the universe really opens the path when it's meant for you, you won't have to question it. There's no conditions.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, to like accept what the universe is giving you, because sometimes you got like that fear. I just was reading Girl Stop Apologizing, and
oh yeah, and she's incredible.
And it's really hard to do that, like to let go of that.
How's that going for you?
Well, I'm so sorry, Ryan, but I wasn't feeling well this morning, and normally I would say,
Right.
no. I'm trying really hard not to apologize. But anyways, that's amazing, Jess. And so, but the foot traffic, please tell me that they get to see these wonderful wall murals that you make, the window murals you make.
You mean the writing that goes across the? Yeah. So when people come upstairs, they can see it, and the top floor is open to the public, so they can see it as well.
So Jess does these beautiful. How often do you change the window murals?
I would say like once a season. I'm actually getting ready to do a new one. So since Valentine's Day, we've had Marriage Advice from 1886 by Jane Wells across the space. And the next one is called Our Deepest Fear. And it's by Marianne Williamson, who wrote the book A Return to Love. And the premise of the piece of prose is that our deepest fear is not that we will fail. It is our deepest fear is that we will be successful. Do you guys want to hear it? I'll read it to you.
Yeah. I'm actually looking up because I want to see what this looks like. Are these words printed on the windows? I just want to understand what we're...
Yeah. So what we do, I did it in our font. There's actually a reel on our page of me making it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. So what it is it's basically like we take a piece of text and put it into our font, print it out, cut it apart, tape it back together, tape it up on the outside of the windows on reverse.
Yep.
And then I draw it with chalk pen or like paint pen on the window. Yeah.
Very, very clever.
And it's just something inspirational for people to kind of ruminate on.
And that's probably the fastest, cheapest way to go about that, right? Just that quick print and trace kind of step.
Yes. I also have intermittently, we will space it between, I have a wonderful artist. Her name is Ashley Alvarez in the Charlotte community that does window painting. And she does the most unique, beautiful creations. And so occasionally we'll have her come in and do floral work instead of words.
Cool.
And it's just it varies. But I would love to read this piece to you guys if you're curious to hear it.
Please.
Okay, so the next one that we're going to be adding in the next few weeks will be called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing it small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
And how does that tie into your business model? Like, how does that tie in for you specifically?
The two things that I love most about this business, about this space, are the opportunity to share flowers with people and the beautiful things that I get to create, the art that I get to create, but also the connection. People come in these doors and they feel a sense of peace and they feel a sense of comfort and vulnerability. They feel like it's comfortable to be vulnerable in our space. And we have these beautiful, magical conversations that you would not even fathom happen in a flower shop. And so what I found over the course of 3 years is these four walls hold flowers and they also hold healing. And I believe that it is my honor to share the wisdom that I have come to understand and learn over the last 5 years as I've gone through a pretty significant healing journey myself and share that with others. I want to share it with others as they crave it. You know, I don't ever force anything on anyone, but as they crave it and want to experience, and it seems to be that people feel drawn to our studio for that cause. They come in here and then we've never met before. And then by the time that they leave, they have like this light bulb moment while they're in the space. And so the purpose of the windows is we're here Monday through Friday from 11 to 6. How can I offer more of that to the world when we are not physically present in the space? Put something on the windows. We've got 4 million windows across the front of this studio. Let's do something with it. It's not just a window to everything that exists in here. It's a window to yourself. That's what I kind of think it has become.
Oof.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I cried.
Wow.
Yeah.
Second mass. We can't see Mimi, but I'm sure she's crying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wes, you broke it. I was on like a 4 weeks of no crying, but you did it.
I
In a
cried like
good
4
way.
times in
In
the
a
last
good
24
way.
hours.
In a good way. No, 4 weeks on the podcast. On the
Yeah.
daily basis, I cry every day. It's okay. It's a
Same.
good thing.
I don't mean this in a
Yeah.
bad way, but like, do you see yourself doing something bigger than floristry?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it definitely sounds
This
that
is-
way.
this
It
is
sounds
bigger.
like a stepping
This is
stone
bigger.
almost to something bigger.
Oh, I've had
I'm
people
wondering
ask
what's
me
wrong with
since
your
I was
ex-husband.
probably in my early 20s.
Come on.
Nothing.
Mike.
He is
My
He is an
God.
amazing human. No, I think this is important to touch on. So he is an amazing
Wow.
human.
I think every that's listening to this podcast is really interested to know who you are right now. That's so good. So good.
Oh, well, I'm single as a Pringle.
There we go.
So
Single
no,
as a
he's an
Pringle.
amazing human. I know. And I just recently had somebody tell me Pringles aren't single. And I'm like,
That's
well,
a good
this
point.
one is.
Yeah, they're coming in a
So,
single tube. Right?
so
Well, they're very addictive, okay? So just you have that personality because you make everybody
yeah.
happy and you want more. That's
sure.
good.
All the little single
So-
as a Pringle and snug like a pug in the rug, like those are awesome. Those are like
Yeah.
some of my favorite parts of the videos. All of the like almost like
Yeah.
outtakes,
The
I guess you want to call
one-liners.
them. Yeah, the ma'am one when
Ma'am.
yeah. Oh, that one. That's like, those are the moments. The ma'am one to me, the way that I edit the videos is I will literally sit in the floor and play with my dogs and play it sitting beside me. And when I hear something that makes me turn,
yeah.
I pause, and that's where the video cut is.
Yeah.
But the ma'am one to me, that singular like 5 seconds is probably my favorite moment from any of the videos. Ma'am.
I kind of agree. Yeah, I kind of agree.
My favorite gather video, Joelle, listen to this one, is when you school somebody on some 90s, 2000s hip hop R&B vibe and you call Moesha, Brandy Moesha. I was like, that's my girl.
Oh yeah, I messed it up. I think I feel like, it was supposed to be like Monica and Brandy, and I think I like mixed them all up.
But listen, I do that with Joelle all the time. I'm like, Joelle, have you ever heard of so-and-so? Oh, okay, let me tell you. You need to know about the amazing R&B, 2000s R&B.
Oh my gosh, I had to make a playlist once for a friend because she and I were talking, and she was like, I think I like Tupac. And I was like, you think? You think? And I said, do we know like, what was the other, Nappy Roots? Like, do we know Nappy Roots? Do we know A Tribe Called Quest? Like, we gotta like,
Joelle,
you need to know the history. Like, it's not just.
We're going to give you the playlist.
I have no
If you
idea
won't
who those
get to
people
my
are.
Come on.
I know who Tupac is, but I don't know the rest
I
of
will
them.
send you the link.
Did you know
Please do. You
CD
guys, my
players are
playlist.
back? Have you seen those yet? They have new
Yes.
updated CD players where it works on Bluetooth and it plays like it's got a speaker built into it. I have a whole album of mixtapes that now have a purpose again.
I've got a Microsoft Zune waiting to resurface.
Throwback.
Yeah. So I'll send you the playlist. It starts with Grandmaster Flash and like works its way
Thank
the
you.
way through.
Thank you
It's like
for
a
that.
hip hop history.
Thank you, because the other day we were in the office and he goes, I forgot what it was, and he goes, oh, that's not an original song? And I was like, what was it, Joelle?
It was
And I go, no, you don't know the original, Joelle? The original? And we go through this
I think
all
it was
day
a
long.
Tory
Yeah.
Lanez song.
What's funny is that he's like, he knows the sample of the sample, not the original sample. Like we're already getting like a third round of samples going.
He
Yeah.
knows the Instagram audio mix.
Yeah.
Exactly. The TikTok version.
That's really funny. Yeah.
But we all going through the same
Whitney
struggles.
Houston wasn't the original person who sang "I Will Always Love You." It was
That was Dolly Parton.
I recently watched that movie,
from
the
a
Whitney
very
Houston movie.
raunchy movie, I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also from a very raunchy movie.
Ooh.
She did a movie. She was like a madam in a whorehouse. It's called The Littlest Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh,
Is that where 9 to 5 comes from?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no.
No.
Is that
no,
right?
9 to
It might
5
be.
comes from
9 to 5 is in New York City.
Yeah.
It's Dolly Parton though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Dolly Parton's the
Oh, but
secretary.
It is Dolly Parton. But I think it was
movie.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
different.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I
best
can't
whorehouse
recall.
in Texas
But there's
was
a lot
a
of
different movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. It's both
Burt
about working.
Reynolds,
It's both
man.
about working girls. I was confused.
I don't remember where we were. We were talking about something else before we got all into this. But
the videos about the little outtakes and that's what makes your editing style, which I think is great. It's just I think that it's so real, and all you need to do is connect with people, which is what exactly you're doing is amazing.
Took a quick deep dive down into the early stages of your reels just to see like how far the progress has come from where it is now to then. I'm curious, when did you get as confident as you are just like being yourself 100% to the camera like this?
Childbirth. No. No, I think so. Speech and debate in high school really helped me become comfortable in my skin. But I also think that the last 5 years, I've spent so much time working on myself, working to grow beyond certain behavioral patterns, working to reprogram the old narratives in my mind. And through that, I found a really deep acceptance for what makes me who I am, and not necessarily the good things either. Like, what are the things that we inherently believe about ourselves to be bad, i.e., dramatic? I know that I am a feeler and that I feel in a really big way. Most of my life, I have interpreted that as a negative. And in the last few years, I've come to discover that's one of the things that makes me so wonderful.
It's a superpower.
And I say that humbly, right? Like it's like a humble thought process. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but in an effort to say it so simply, I have learned to fall in love with who I am and appreciate her for all of the wonderful things that she has to offer the world. And I just talk to a camera like I'm talking to a friend, because I am. I'm talking to myself. I literally watch. So when I record, it is facing me. So I see what I am recording, because I'm always afraid I'm going to step out of frame. It's having a conversation with myself. It's having a conversation with the little girl that exists in me, the playful and curious person that exists in me, and recognizing that how I really, really, really deeply believe that the people who are meant to find you, they will.
I also think you're also talking to, like, when you're doing your videos, it's almost as if you're talking to me, whoever's watching. You're speaking directly to them,
because
that's the vibe I get.
Right? Like
you get right into that camera, and you just your passion, and you're just talking to your best friend. You just feel that's how it felt,
right? Because that's what it is. Energy recognizes energy. And when you watch something that resonates with you, it is because they are a mirror of the thing that you already feel in yourself that you aren't necessarily recognizing in that moment. It's like when you're triggered by something, it shows you where the wounds are in your heart. And whenever you are enjoying something, it is a reminder of all the beautiful things that exist within you as well. And so when I'm talking to the camera in that way, I really deeply feel that the people who want to be in that space, who want to meet me there, they will find me. So it releases any fear in front of the camera, because I don't want to be near the person that doesn't want to be near me. I mean, we grew from 3,600 followers to we're at 18.4 thousand followers right now.
Damn.
Since the Powder Puff Reel went live.
Wow.
We've grown over almost 15,000 followers since March 15th.
Wow.
Less than a month. And we've only had we've had under 200 unfollows.
Just wait till you get the bump from this podcast. Gonna go viral.
So it's really beautiful to see the way that people are finding connection and community in it. And
it's inspirational and it's funny and it's like, I feel like people that might be kind of bored or flat with the flower business, like it kind of draws you back in a little bit, I don't know if that makes sense.
I've had people message me and say that you renewed my curiosity and my drive to experience floristry for the newness of that stuff. It's very cool.
No, you're
I'm
tapping
so
into something
honored
for
and
sure.
grateful.
Yeah,
there's something there that I don't know where it's gonna go, but like everything is like connecting, like you're saying. Everything is lining up right.
It's aligning.
Yeah.
It's lining up. And I've had people ask me since my early 20s when I was writing a book. Something that is not as commonly discussed right now is that I create pieces just for the sake of creating them and being creative, and they look like oil paintings when they're done. And I have also been keeping a very in-depth journal for the last 5 years that is not just my experiences, but collective thought. And I am writing a book. I'm writing a book that is called Rumination and Roses. And it is 52 sets of pages that will offer you on a weekly basis a new set of pages with something to look at that is beautiful on one side and something to ruminate on, a piece of prose, a piece of thought.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And through this experience with these reels going viral, I have developed so many connections so quickly. And so many of those people are either authors or in the process of releasing books. And so I think it's just creating the ripple effect of what is next. And it is my hope to foster all the more connection, all the more love, and give people a place where they find something within themselves. I don't care if it's one person. I just want to hit one heart.
Well, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Cupid arrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
I also think
it's really fun.
I also think that there's something about your voice. I'm over here crying. Thank God I'm not in the office. Because there's something about the way you're saying certain things. It's the tone of your voice, your calmness that brings you at that home. So,
and the confidence too. The passionate confidence. It's just the whole package. That's really
podcasts are pretty easy to do. So go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do have an idea for a podcast.
100%.
I'm not going to lie. Either a podcast or a TV show, if that so happens to be the thing that develops. I want to call it In the Field. And I want to travel around the country and around the world, meeting people in their spaces, floristry shops, as well as flower farms. And we literally just talk about everything but flowers. Like, it's about life. It's about, like, I want people to feel, I would love for this to exist in a way where I've had people tell me that flowers are the door opener for me. And then it creates a space for more conversation on a deeper level. And that's what I want people to experience, because we're so quick to watch TV shows that show us how to create a flower arrangement, how to garden, how to do interior design, like all of these things. Who's talking about the hard stuff in a relatable way? Like, can we open the door for conversation that talks about your inner child or childhood trauma that you're trying to unlearn the patterns from, while we play with roses that look like a dime? Like, let's combine it in a way that says, this is beautiful to look at, and you can be creative here while your brain is at ease and listening to the things that also may impact you in a beautiful way and offer you healing. I think it could be really, really cool. But all in time.
That's really powerful. We actually had a TV producer. Her husband was a TV producer, was on the last episode. So I could see this all connecting just as the alignment is further aligning.
Yep, gather in the field, right? Like, we'll just do the thing. I want most for my journey to be whatever it is the world needs most. That's like the short of it, is that, like, I don't know where any of this is going. Like, I kind of know, but I don't know. And I kind of love not knowing. And I used to really be afraid of change and the unknown. And now I'm like, I kind of wake up and I'm like driving to the studio. I'm like, what's going to happen today that I don't know about? Let's get into it. Let's do the thing.
I'm driving everyone and say, what shit is going to happen today?
Same thought, way different energy.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm buying her audiobook too, because she just calms you down.
So good. So good. Was there anything else on your agenda that you wanted to mention on the podcast today that we didn't get to?
I don't know about like necessarily for me, but yeah, I mean, everything else we kind of touched on.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, I'm grateful for the opportunity to just experience and chat with somebody in general. So yeah, no, I don't have anything specific. You guys are amazing. I worked with you guys a couple of years ago. I had worked with a person to create a couple of events here in Charlotte, and they have a personal connection to JetFresh. And so they asked us to work directly with you guys, and it was such a wonderful experience. So I'm very grateful for you guys as well. And also, I think that you guys knew this, but all of the crystal fairy roses that you sent us to play with and explore, we gave them all away to the public. Nice. So they were played with, and then, sorry, give me just one moment. I have to let a customer in so he can pick up his arrangement and then head back out. Hi, Jamie. Come on in. I'm in the middle of recording a podcast. If you want to say hello, you can. Okay, this is for you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Now we'll come back. I'm sure.
Yes, amazing. I can let you know whenever I post everything to the website for pre-orders. You're perfect. Yeah, I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Sure.
No, don't be sorry. Okay, we're back. I'm coming.
I kind of want to leave that in.
We're leaving that in.
I think I'm going to, yeah, we should definitely leave that in.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's incredible. So it's his anniversary. He bought flowers for his beautiful wife. So all of the crystal fairy roses went to people on the streets of Uptown Charlotte. My flower shop is in the middle of a banking district. And so many people that come through here, they work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of vibe, sitting at a desk. And I remember whenever I was opening the shop, I was like, why are you putting me in the middle of a banking district? Like I was like meditating with it, talking to God and the universe. And I'm like, what? Why? And it like struck me like a lightning bolt and said that I got this overwhelming sensation of you go where you are needed. We need you here. And so that's where I opened, and people come in here all the time and they feel like it's such a sense of like respite. Like they like very much feel peace and relaxation. And like they come in and they say, it doesn't feel like I'm in Charlotte. I feel like I'm in like New York City or in Europe, and it's just like a vibe. But all that to say that when we were on the street giving these flowers away, it just brightened everybody's day so much. And you guys made that happen. Like the willingness to be in a space of community and send flowers to my humble little flower shop and share that with me allowed me to share it with others. And so when I say what you give, you are given more to give, giving to the space, you guys offering that to me allowed me to offer it to somebody else. And so thank you very much, because I cannot even begin to express the way you brightened so many people's day.
Wow.
So many people came by and they were just completely overjoyed. And I can't tell you the number of people that very clearly said, you have no idea how much I needed this today.
But we could not do it without you. So that thank you for allowing us to be part of that. We had something really big that Mike and the whole company believes in giving back. So
yeah, it was really beautiful.
And like I said, when I reached out about the flowers, we just literally wanted to see, and weren't even expecting a video. It was just pure to share, because Mike and we talk about this all the time whenever we see, like I bring home flowers and I'm in awe with them. I love the texture. I love the smell, like you name it. So we really wanted you to have and enjoy that crystal fairy, because she's a doll.
Gorgeous. She is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me, like, I know I said it in the video, but it really reminds me of like a reliable gardenia.
Yeah.
And the way that her petals unfurl, and that she still has like kind of a closed center, but it opens in time and is resemblant of like a climbing rose somehow.
Yeah.
Very cool. And she's hardy too. Like she really did last. I remember you mentioning that you had people say that it lasted too long.
Yeah.
I can see how that tracks.
I feel like I love to give something that I know is going to perform the same every time. And that Crystal Fairy has done that several times for me. So I feel like, yeah, she's a beautiful.
It's like a very large white majolica, like not a spray that doesn't shed its petals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to print out QR codes, and we're gonna put them on all the boxes of Crystal Fairy just to let people hear you talk about them at this point, like to promote, to sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're so good. That is my go-to white for the near future, for sure.
I predicted
I've been looking for a white one I really love.
Yeah, I predicted that variety will regardless of how many farms grow it, it will continue to hold its value. It won't ever be.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be up there like with David Austin kind of.
We get a lot of
value.
We get a lot of, is it AI? Is it fake? No, it's real. She does her thing.
Yeah.
I have people come in the shop and ask me if the flowers are fake.
Yeah.
They will walk in the door and go, half the time they don't know that a rose is a rose because of the way that it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they're like, is that a rose or is that a peony? I'm like, it's a rose. You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
They get so excited because I have people come in and they're like, I don't like roses. And I'm like, I think you do. You just don't know the type of rose that you like.
Yeah.
You don't like a little nugget. You want like va va boom. And so then I show them how the rose that they're looking at turns into something else. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Can I have like 7 of those?
Exactly.
The nuances of each one. And I had a client come in and I was talking with her about everything that's been going on with this. And I said something about really falling in love with roses. And she goes, roses have always loved you. They were just waiting on you.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, it really is. Because every time I bring a new one in, I fall in love with it in a new way. They're all different. They're all so special. There's so many nuances to each one.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect for the questions. Ryan, you want to ask her the questions then?
Yes, Jess, these are rapid fire. Just give us your gut response answer.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm ready. Love this.
Okay. First question. At the moment, what's your favorite flower?
Tulip.
What is the best sandwich?
Why do I want to be toxic and say a hot dog?
Oh. You even probably you probably don't even get
a BLT.
You probably don't even understand the significance of what you just said. But for the first 100 and something episodes, that was like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Was the question.
Yeah.
So
is an ice cream sandwich a sandwich? That's the new one.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Why not?
No.
Yes, it is.
It's the same thing. It's just ice cream ingredients, but it's bread.
Connor and I wasted way too much time at work having this discussion, and Mommy too, about is it an ice
literally
cream
in the
sandwich?
name.
No, it's in the name.
Chipwich, ice cream sandwich, all counts. Anyway.
Yeah. So wait, I didn't hear. Which one did you say?
Final answer, BLT.
Cool. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
To be invisible.
What is the most overrated flower?
This is supposed to be rapid fire. Seeded eucalyptus.
What's the most underrated flower?
Bearded iris.
What is your go-to late night drunk food?
I don't really drink anymore.
Or munchy food, whatever. Late night snacks, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so if I'm just like in it, saucy La Rossi, like I'm 39, Taco Bell, dude. Like we all lived it.
Yeah.
We all lived it. Give me a Crunchwrap Supreme all day, every day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But if I'm just like at home and at like 11 o'clock at night, I'm randomly still awake, which is very rare. And I'm like, I could really do the thing right now. I want something. I am such a little freaking health nut. I'm like, all I want is whole milk Greek yogurt with honey, hemp hearts, chia seeds, and raspberries and walnuts.
Sounds
like
really good.
I feel it's so good. It's like my replacement now for ice cream. But that's also because if you put a pint of ice cream in front of me, it will be gone in less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
Gone.
What flavor?
Yeah. All flavors. But mint chip is probably my favorite.
You guys. So far, all my answers are going well, except for the bearded iris. I don't think that's my favorite.
If she says Dr.
I
Pepper,
love a
then
bearded
I agree
you'll
with
iris.
fall
her.
in love.
I think
If she likes
bearded
Dr.
iris
Pepper,
is.
I
that's
love a
it.
DP.
It's. Not,
Oh, forget it. Done.
I agree. I wish we can get bearded iris.
Mike, I need to go to North Carolina for a little bit.
You do.
I'm going with
Mimi
you.
and I are now besties.
I have
It was really nice meeting
therapy
all of you.
session.
Mimi, I'll see you in 5.
I'm going with you.
Okay, a couple more.
That's great. No, you guys come on.
What kind of flowers do you want at your funeral?
I go into kind of a spiritual space with this and think about the vibrational frequency of certain flowers. And ironically, it would probably be roses because I know that they have high healing properties.
They have the
Hey,
highest.
Suki.
That's what Suki told us. Yeah.
Yep, they do. So I would say roses and lilac. But I want lilac for everything. If I were to ever be married again, it would be lilacs everywhere. And bridal wreath spirea, just floopy.
Pick a TV character or a celebrity or historical figure to have lunch with.
Dead or alive?
Yes.
Tupac.
Great answer.
And who was the gorilla lady?
Jane
I'm
Goodall.
obsessed with her, and I can't. Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
Mhm.
Jane Goodall, Tupac, and myself in a room every time.
It's a good rotation.
Yeah. Alive, Dr. Zach Bush. If you are not familiar with him, you should be. He's a microbiologist or an endocrinologist that specializes in regenerative farming.
Fuck yeah.
Very cool dude. Very, very cool dude.
That's probably the next
He's like
question.
the
is,
uncle I never had. Yeah.
The next question was, who's a future guest for the podcast? Can you suggest a future guest? And that sounds like a good answer for that.
Oh, have you guys had Holly on yet?
Holly Chapel?
No, Holly Chapel.
Yeah, you need to have Holly on, or Passion Flower, Sumi Cleary. Both are people that I deeply appreciate and have worked with.
We are big fans
I took
of
classes
Sue.
from Sue. She's incredible. She's just a deeply genuine human. Actually, I have a really, really good one. So obviously, Holly and Sue are amazing. Lacey out of, she's in New York City, and she owns a pressed flower company, Lacey Porta.
Okay.
She's really, really cool lady, and just very, very kind and very loving. You guys would really enjoy talking with her. She's a dear friend.
We haven't
I'll
had
send
any
you her
press flower
information.
people on yet. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and she's done very, very well with it. She's done partnerships with Vogue and Dior, and she's really, really cool. And she lives in Brooklyn. Her business operates out of Brooklyn.
Nice.
Not bad.
Yeah. Framed Florals. I'm gonna pull up exactly the
that's
name
familiar.
of her
That
handle
name is
so that you
familiar.
can.
Framed Florals.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Lacey
Awesome.
Porta with framed Florals, and
Okay,
she's
cool.
out of New York.
Right
Yeah.
on.
She's incredible.
If people want to get in contact with you and they want to hear more from you or pick your brain or anything like that, how would they do that?
Casual conversation. Feel free to message me on Instagram, which is Gather Flower Studio, as you guys know. If you're looking to work with me, shoot me an email at jess@gatherflowerstudio.com or just give the studio a call. We have an inquiry platform on our website if people are curious about exploring those things. But just in general, jess@gatherflowerstudio.com, you get whatever you need.
Very cool.
And also, I want to express this while I have the opportunity to do so. I am an open book and very open and willing to newer florists who have questions. If they ever want to just talk with somebody or they're curious about something and they need an ally or a friend in the space that has been around for a few years, I am always so willing to answer questions as much as I have the actual physical capacity to do at that time, respecting the space of the workload. But yeah, so much joy.
That would be exciting.
Well,
I
she
know
has
we all got to
2
get back to
o'clock, so
work. This has been a
Yes.
lot of fun for us. We've been doing all of this a while now, and some of them the time flies by like it did here. And I'm very grateful for you to share your stories with us. That just speaks to who you are, and we don't really know you, but I feel like I know you now, really, really well. And I think everybody here in the team feels the same. And I think you could write your own ticket, whatever you want to make happen in this industry or any other industry, I'm sure. And I think that we should see you at some industry events and stuff. You need to start seeing what's out there as far as like-minded people and other people in the industry. And, you know, we have SAF is an amazing organization. I don't know if you're a member or not, but you should absolutely think about that. I really think that the 5 years is you're just getting rooted, man. I think you just got so far to go, and I just think you have a lot to offer, not just in florals, but also in your ability to bird dog cool new varieties and shit like that. And I think that there's going to a whole nother, I believe you'll be contacted by growers and breeders asking you to do content for them.
She said the key phrase. The fact that you have customers coming in and asking florists for the variety is exactly what breeders are looking for in a marketing partner.
Yeah, don't be surprised. And when it happens, do me a favor. Shoot me a message because I want to know I told you so.
Yeah, we're going to name a rose after you. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be called the Michael Scott.
I like it. The Dunder Mifflin rose.
The Scotty rose.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your kind words. And I am so, so grateful for the wide variety of opportunities that you have offered me from the very first moment that you commented all the way through this one. And I'm sure more that will develop in the future. I think that it's really beautiful to see a grower and a wholesaler establish a connection the way that you guys do. Obviously, I've been following you since all of this has kind of developed, and I've gotten to witness a little bit of what you guys do. And I think that connection is so important in this industry because of the way that it can so easily, the workload can so easily silo you into your space. And it's a lot of work. Floristry is a lot of work. And I think it's really powerful to have beautiful partners who can help educate you and make you feel like you're part of something bigger. And I think you guys are doing that. And so I'm very, very grateful for the fact that you exist, the fact that you operate the way that you do and work with people the way that you do. And the fact that a grower and wholesaler has a podcast alone is indicative of what you strive to create through your business. So thank you for all that you guys are doing. And thank you so much for the time and the opportunity to share a little bit of my story and a little bit of how I think and what I believe and what I hope to create, because I know that this is such a gift that may offer me opportunity. I don't pass that across my mind lightly. And I also know that someone somewhere will listen to this space that we've created and something in their heart will change.
Yeah.
And whether that's something that is renewed or something they haven't felt before, that's powerful. And we are the pulse that we generate in this space ripples outward and touches people, and it will hit one person. And then similarly to the crystal fairy rose that you guys sent me that touched my heart, that I then shared with all of the people, that ripple passed on to somebody else. And so you've created a wave that exists so far beyond you. And that's cool. So thank you.
Damn. Thank you.
Honestly, it's your honesty and your candor and your just openness and your, putting your heart out there and just on what you're saying. I think that's making the ripple travel a lot further than what we can do. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, geez. This has been a great conversation, a great podcast. Lots of roller coaster, funny, emotional, sad, happy. This is a whole thing. A great story.
Yeah.
It's very
My
inspirational.
mom would say you took me to church.
Yeah, I was going to actually pass the basket around, but I don't see it.
We literally have a basket when you probably would have gotten it a few times passed around.
Yeah.
Like when you start giving a nice.
That's so funny.
Yeah, we have a basket to put $1
That's awesome.
in.
I thought it too at one point.
I didn't see it. Anyway,
That's cute.
Thank you very much, Jess, for joining us today and taking time out of your day. It's a Friday. I know it must be very busy for you today. Really appreciate it. The great Mimi Pacheco, please feel better soon. I know you're home with a bug. And Joelle, thank you very much for setting up as usual. And Ryan, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And this is the Fresh Bunch podcast. This is Mike signing off till next time. Have a nice day.